Good morning. This is Hope Reactor. Now, let's begin today's news.
The loneliness myth. There is always someone on the other side of the screen. Send a message and a reply comes back. News and events from around the world flow to us with a single tap. And yet, there are moments when we suddenly feel as if there is an empty space deep inside our hearts. Even though we are not truly disconnected from anyone, we somehow feel alone. We are more connected to other people than at any point in history. Yet at the same time, the number of people experiencing loneliness continues to grow. Loneliness is not simply being alone. It can arise even when we are surrounded by others. Modern loneliness is the feeling of being connected, yet unfulfilled. So why do we feel lonely despite having more connections than ever before? To explore that question, let us first take a closer look at what we have long believed to be the cause of loneliness. Loneliness was never about a lack of friends. For a long time, we believed that more friends would make loneliness disappear. More opportunities to meet people would make us feel fulfilled. However, many people experience deep loneliness, even when surrounded by family and friends. Recent research suggests that loneliness is not simply caused by a lack of social contact. This means we may need to rethink our assumptions about loneliness. The global rise of loneliness. One of the first things worth noting is the worldwide increase in loneliness. Across the globe, loneliness has become a serious issue. Its impact on health is now well documented, with some studies suggesting that it can pose risks comparable to smoking or obesity. At the same time, we are living in the most connected era in human history. We can talk to almost anyone through our smartphones. We may have hundreds of followers on social media. Online communities are everywhere, and yet loneliness continues to rise. In other words, having more connections does not necessarily mean feeling less lonely. So how do researchers explain this contradiction? What the research found. Researchers focused on people who felt lonely, despite being surrounded by others. What they discovered was a common pattern, a lack of feeling needed. From this insight emerged a key concept: role. Let us now explore why having a role is so deeply connected to loneliness. What is the opposite of loneliness? Human beings want to feel needed. Words like "thank you," "you really helped me," or "I'm glad you're here," move us because they give meaning to our existence. On the other hand, when we feel that nothing would change, if we were gone, loneliness deepens. In that sense, the opposite of loneliness is not the amount of contact we have with others, but the feeling of being needed. This idea may sound abstract, so let us look at some real-world examples where having a role helped reduce loneliness. Just real examples of how roles reduce loneliness. Across Europe, some fascinating initiatives are taking place. Intergenerational community programs. In countries such as Finland and the Netherlands, intergenerational communities are bringing older adults and younger people together. Students live in senior housing and help residents through conversation and everyday support. Young people benefit from lower housing costs, while older adults gain social interaction and, more importantly, a renewed sense that they still have something valuable to contribute. New roles, new meaning. Older adults began taking on roles, such as sharing life experience and offering advice. As a result, feelings of loneliness improved significantly. What mattered was not simply the interaction itself, but the sense of contributing to someone else's life. These examples suggest that the key to easing loneliness is not the number of people around us, but whether we have a meaningful role. And this perspective becomes even more important when we think about the future of society. The new challenge of loneliness in the age of AI. AI is making work more efficient and automating many tasks. This is a remarkable development, but it also raises new questions. AI will dramatically change how we spend our time. Yet whether people feel truly fulfilled will depend not on how much free time they have, but on whether they have meaningful roles and feel needed by others. That is why the challenge of the AI era is not the loss of work itself. It is whether we can continue to find purpose and meaning through our relationships with society and the people around us. Seen this way, the future is not only about technological progress, it is also an opportunity to rediscover what it means to be human. So what can each of us do to find hope in that future? A hopeful future. This is not a story about a frightening future. It is a story about hope, because having a role does not require extraordinary talent. For example, listening to a family member, helping a neighbor, sharing knowledge with a child, encouraging someone who is struggling. That alone can be enough. People find meaning in life when they feel that their existence has made a positive difference in someone else's life. Perhaps that is why, in the age of AI, the quality of human connection will become more valuable than ever. And finally, I invite you to reflect on what this means for your own life. Yes, in closing, take a moment and think about this. When was the last time someone said to you, "Thank you, that really helped"? What did that person receive in that moment? And how did it make you feel? Now imagine that starting tomorrow, you suddenly had 2 extra hours of free time every day. Who would you spend that time for? And what would you use it for? Your answer reflects the role you may choose to play in the future and the kind of life you want to live. As we have seen, we often think of loneliness as a problem of distance between people. But what truly fills the human heart is the feeling that our existence matters in someone else's life. Even if it is only one person, there is someone waiting for your presence. There is someone who may be comforted by your words. There is a role that only you can fulfill. And that role is not some distant, extraordinary destiny waiting in the future. It may be a single sentence you say today. It may be listening to someone until they finish speaking. It may be finding the courage to reach out a helping hand. People discover their value through the accumulation of these small acts. No matter how advanced AI becomes, only people can give meaning to other people. So perhaps the most important question for the future is not, who are you connected to? But rather, who do you exist for? If this video resonated with you, even a little, try doing something for one person today. That small action may ease someone else's loneliness, and at the same time, it may illuminate your own. This is Hope Reactor, a channel dedicated to finding hope for the future. Within humanity's greatest challenges, your role can become someone else's hope, and that hope can spread to yet another person. Let us build that future together. See you in the next video.